I'm John Rowland. My farm is our farm. That's kind of a pun, but it's real quick to write on a box. I've been farming in this area for 29 years. I had some experience with gardening with my mom, having a community garden plot when I was in school. I got interested in the world food supply issue from gardening, just an appreciation from what a very small plot of ground could produce, and started thinking how that could be done on a somewhat larger scale. I've seen farms that just had staggering amounts of waste, but because they were 1,000 acres or so, still had huge production. I thought, well, what if there wasn't that kind of waste? My grandfather had a dairy farm in Northern Virginia, and then my dad was a physicist for the federal government, helping to develop better, faster bombers and missiles and stuff like that. And he became rather discouraged about all that and changed his tune about as far as what kind of career he hoped I would have. And instead of make as much money as possible, make sure you do some kind of good, because he didn't really see a good commercial application for missiles and stuff like that. So I have to say, both my parents were very supportive. Arugula, mosh, greens, spinach, mustard, kale, Swiss chard, celery root. I look for things that are not being produced by everybody. That's why I don't do tomatoes anymore. And I also do Irish potatoes. I'm somewhat mechanized for that, so that's a good crop to grow. I also do winter squash, red curry, butternut, pie pumpkins, that sort of thing. And I'm always open for new possibilities. I have a couple of superior employees, and then I pick up other people as I can throughout the season, and if they don't work out, I let them go and pick up someone else. I have a reputation for having colorful employees sometimes, and that's keep it interesting, but it can be distracting sometimes. I had been well acquainted with some of the people who were involved. Stefan was a member of Carolina Organic Growers at one point, but participating in a mountain organization when you're based near the coast is not terrifically sustainable, and so he moved off there when Eco arose about halfway in between, and I realized I could still supply stuff to Eco that at a different schedule than what a lot of the other Eco members could do. Thought, well, let's consider this, and it seems that it becomes more sustainable all the time. There's more resources that I can use. We now have a very good trucker that if I don't care to make the run myself, I can get Catherine to do it, and she gets paid, and she's happy with it, and I'm happy because I get to sleep in my own bed. What's not to like about that? For me, the hardest part is weather anxieties. Lately, we've been in a series of drought years, and there's also been an ill-timed hailstorm or two in the past, and those are always very tense times. Hoping to delegate more responsibility to the top employees that I've mentioned. Some of the stuff that I have in my greenhouse this year is entirely Justin's doing. Said, hey, let's grow stuff in here, and I said, well, okay, you do it, and I'll supply the materials and the seeds. And so I have literally not lifted a finger for that, and I like the way that's going. When I started out, the Extension Service had no clue what kind of help to offer. If we had a question and said, by the way, I'm organic, can you give me organic advice? They were baffled. The public's perception formerly was that organic produce always looked funny. And it's true. I think it took us a long time to figure out how to grow produce that looks better than what you might normally find in your average conventional grocery store. And now our product stands up there with the very best product from the most boutique grocery stores.